Hi friends, it is your Facebook field trip time. I'm Erica from the marketing department. Thank you so much for joining us. I do want to see a few people checking in first before we go on because I get nervous. There we are. Okay, so you can see us. We are broadcasting live down here from, of course, elephants. That's not a big secret. Thanks for tuning in. We're bringing you these Facebook field trips every day at 11:30 so that you can get your zoo fix in while we're all stuck at home. And we've had a lot of great support and great traction. Emma, hello. Yes, Emma says she can see us. This is terrific. So all of our Facebook field trips just live on our Facebook page. And if you know people who aren't on Facebook, have them head to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in Utah's Hogle Zoo. There's a Facebook field trip there, a playlist. So we have people checking in. You guys, I don't know if you're getting ready for lunch and that kind of thing. Somebody called it lunching and learning, which I thought was cute. So we have beautiful Christy over my shoulder. We're going to show you guys elephant pedicures today, so this is awesome. Before we get started and introduce our crew, I do want to remind you the zoo really needs your support right now while we're closed to the public. Elephants and tigers and lions don't love to go on diets, you know what I mean? So if you can, we'd love for you to go to our website, hoglezoo.org. There's a donate button. You can buy tickets now that you use later in the year. You could buy your membership now. There's lots of ways to support the zoo, so we would love for you to do that. Okay, everyone's checking in. They love elephants. Let's flip this around and introduce you to our amazing crew today. Lauren, she's 6 feet apart. We call her 6 feet Lauren over there. You guys, she chatted with us about rhinos earlier in the week. Megan is keeping Christy at bay right there. We have Erin, the fabulous Erin, and then Natalie off in the distance there. We're spread out. People are monitoring our social distancing, and actually I don't like to call it that because I think we need each other more than ever. I like to call it physical distancing. So Megan's going to keep Christy at bay, but Lauren wants to show us some of the tools while as we get ready to do elephant pedicures.
Yeah, so some of the things that we have here that we're going to use today. So the nice thing is a lot of us grew up with hoofstock and horses, and so it's a lot of the same tools. So we think of ourselves as farriers. So you might notice if you have cattle or horses, this is a rasp, so think of it as a large nail file. We also have a hoof knife, which we'll work on their pads with, and then X-Acto knives as well too, in different shapes. So you'll notice when we work on the bottom of their foot, it is kind of like a callus. We are very delicate with it. We want to keep a natural tread for them, just like you would on your tire or your shoe as well.
Kind of soft. It always looks like a little squishy.
Yeah, as they get older, it gets a little bit harder. So her feet are a little bit different than Zuri's feet. So yeah, we'll kind of talk about it as Megan gets her into position.
Let's get Meg. It was funny because as soon as I stopped down here, Christy was over here sticking her foot out for you guys.
Oh, yeah,
she was ready.
She's so ready.
So does she know does she recognize the tools?
She does, yeah. You can come over this way.
Okay, so I come on this side. Okay.
Yeah, so we're just going to kind of put her in position. The great thing is that all of our elephants participate on their own. Christy doesn't have to participate if she doesn't want to. And so we're going to work on this back foot here. So yeah, you can kind of get a little bit of a close-up there. So the back feet are an oval shape, which are a little bit different shape than their front feet. But you can see all that really cool tread. Megan's kind of brushing it off so you can see that on there. And this is great. She gets a pedicure and she gets lots of food, so she's loving it.
So Erin's over there giving her treats.
Yep.
Now, how often do you take care of their feet? How often do you have to do this?
So we are always checking their feet. Every time we work with them, which is several times a day. We're probably doing footwork only a few times a month. We want to keep a nice pad, a longer pad, but make sure it is healthy. So Megan's actually going to work on her nails first. It is a little harder to see her nails underneath. But just like you would with hoofstock, you want to keep their nails off the ground. And healthy feet equals good joints and longevity of your animal. So it's very important that we take care of their feet to the best of our ability.
So why do we need to file the nails down? Do they get ingrown nails, or how does this differ from the wild? How would that work?
Yeah, exactly. So the nails are important because if they're too long, just like maybe you've seen horses that have been neglected that have long hooves, it can put a lot of pressure on their pad and on their nails, and you could have what we call blowouts. You could get infection. And so just like you want to keep your fingernails short and healthy.
Can I step closer and try to see the nails?
Okay. Yeah, you can go underneath with Megan there. She's gurgling. She's happy. Yeah, so you can kind of see the nails along the side here.
So this is what Megan did.
And if you kind of flip underneath here, you can see the under nails as well.
Guys, I'm practicing my camera work here. Rotate your phone. My iPhone's shouting at me. Rotate your phone. So this is the part she just kind of shaved a little bit.
Yep, she just worked on. So what she's doing is rounding this and making sure this isn't making a lot of contact with the ground so that that nail doesn't push up or cause any infection, is nice and healthy.
Wow. And then look at this tread. Someone asked, is that natural? Is that compact dirt?
It's kind of both. Right now her foot's a little dirty because we had a lot of rain and a lot of mud, but it is natural tread. So you'll kind of see once Megan starts on her foot, what she's doing is she's not taking too much off. She's going to look for flaps. So see where her finger is right there, where that little flappy is. Yeah. So that's just a little overgrown pad. So Megan's just going to nicely take it off. It does look a little weird when you watch footwork because it looks like we're taking skin off, but it is callus. A pad material.
Exactly what you're doing with pedicure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it looks a little freaky when you see it being shaved off, but Chrissy's getting lots of food. She's gurgling. She's having a good time.
So that just helps keep it smooth?
It keeps it smooth from, being...
Maybe she doesn't get rocks caught under there?
Yep, exactly. So, and every elephant kind of stands a little bit different. If you think about orthotics with people, Chrissy's a little pigeon-toed, we kind of like to call her, so she stands a little bit with her heels in, if that makes sense, and so we kind of form her feet. Yeah, so we kind of form her feet like an orthotic.
Oh, okay. Yep. It smells.
Yeah, it does smell.
I'm like up there, right on up there.
It is very stinky. So it's just kind of natural. They're walking around in probably a lot of poop and a lot of dirt.
It smells. So yeah, good.
The wind is blowing, so you get a nice waft of that
under there.
Yeah. So what's interesting about the color? So a lot, when you see the pink, it's not blood, which is great. Their pad is thin, so you do want to be careful. Megan's not taking a lot off, but you're going to see basically this copper color, and then underneath will be white, and then you worry about hitting any sort of blood. So we are very careful and cautious on how much we take off. Less is more, as we always say. So we're just doing kind of this is just normal routine for her.
I want to step to the side and show people Christy.
You can go over by Erin here.
People wonder if it's hurting her, and it's not. She's out here pleased as punch, getting lots of treats from Erin. Erin's tossing her all of her.
Erin's working on her aim, getting to her.
Out of practice. Yeah, not a good throw. I could have done that one too.
So at any point, Christy can leave. We're not forcing her to be here.
Yeah,
she's getting lots of
walk
food.
Away.
Yep.
The other thing I thought was interesting is right when I walked up, you guys were bringing the tools out. She was already propping her foot up. She knew it was.
She was, yeah. So she knows that we have the tools out here. She loves attention. She loves food. So we have a really great relationship with her. She knows we wouldn't do anything that would hurt her. So she trusts that what we're doing is good and healthy and safe and positive.
And then you guys do this on all 4 feet.
We do, yeah. So it is very tedious. So we usually try to do 1 foot at a time because it would take us quite a long time to do that. But this is kind of just maintenance work.
One of the favorite analogies I've heard about elephant feet is that tread's kind of like a tire, gripping the road. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. And so if you looked at the bottom of Zuri's feet, they would look very different as well too. So that's kind of what Megan's pulling off, is just anything that's a little too long, so that these guys have a little bit of concrete, but we keep most of their substrate really soft sand. So they have nice things to walk on. It's really soft. It's good for their joints, because as she gets older, just like people, you're prone to arthritis and other things. And so good feet equals good joints equals a happy, long-living elephant.
Now, do they have pink feet? Is that the... People are like, what?
Yeah. So it's just kind of the coloration of their callus. So think of kind of similar to a frog on a horse when you start doing work. So when we kind of shave this down, it's going to be kind of a copper color, and then underneath will be white, and then we could possibly hit blood vessels. So we want to keep this. Yeah, this okay. Looks scary, but this is a good color for it to be. And Megan's really only taking very, very superficial pieces off of there, just to kind of maintain it.
That is amazing. Someone's cute little 7-year-old wants to know if the elephants are nice to you.
Yeah, we work with them every single day. I mean, they have personalities just like people do. So like I said, if Christy was not having this, she would be out of here doing something else. But she loves the food and loves her keepers. We work with these guys every day, and for most of us, many, many years.
Do you have days where you come in and you just, like, one of your elephants is just not in a good mood today, and they're just not, just don't want to participate, or they're feeling fussy, or...
Yeah.
We all have toddlers, right, that'll wake up and it's like, hoo-wee.
I always like to give an example of Zuri. She's 10. If any of you have adolescent, teenage children, you know that they want to participate and sometimes they don't. So Zuri is great. Her mood swings are all over the place, which we love. It's hormonal. It's just like a teenager. So yeah, there's sometimes where she just kind of wants to hang out. But this morning she was great. She got a bubble bath. She ran around. She had a good time. And now she's over in the other yard eating and having some enrichment. But yeah, she's definitely a little bit more ornery than Christy is.
So do you do 1 foot a day? Or
yeah,
I don't do all 4 in one
We
day,
don't,
so.
no, because it takes quite a bit of time, and Megan's getting a good forearm workout right now doing this.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I reach in and just kind of... And can she feel that? Maybe?
Yeah, she can feel that. Yeah,
I
there's
do
some
wanna show you
sensation
her
on there.
little
Good girl.
hairs. I want you to see all these little hairs right here. Can you guys see that? So fun to touch that. They're really prickly
girl.
and very coarse, and she's getting lots of treats.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna touch her feet. Oh my goodness. Some of us have had pedicures before where we've gone, oh,
they get the little cheese grater thing out. Yeah.
People want to know about favorite treats, favorite toys.
Yeah, so Erin right now has a variety. We can go peek in her bucket if you want over here.
Go peek in her. I'll set them down.
Yeah, so she's
let's
got
not get too close.
a variety of fruits and vegetables in there. And then she also has alfalfa cubes and grain, which is pretty high value. That's the good sweet stuff. So Chrissy's kind of in nap mode right now, just eating and getting a pedicure, which is great. These guys eat a few 100 pounds of food a day, so snack time, we save a lot of really high value stuff for things like this. So
6-year-old Lucy wants to know if you ever paint their toenails.
we don't have enough nail polish for that. That would be impossible. And it would wear off in like 2 minutes.
Look at the size of
Yeah.
your thing of nail polish would be really big.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Hey, you guys. Again, all of these Facebook field trips live on Facebook forever. But if you know somebody who is not on Facebook, they're also on our YouTube channel. If you go to Utah's Hogle Zoo, there's a playlist of all of our Facebook field trips. We're trying to take you somewhere to the zoo every day at 11:30 so that you can get your zoo fix. Now, let's see. We've got some good questions coming in. What is the material made that you were taking off? Is that keratin?
Yeah, it's a keratin material like nail. So it is an ever-growing pad.
Yes, Kristen, they have toenails. They're right. Every time I try to take
Yeah, it's
my
a
phone,
weird.
it goes out. Sorry.
With her foot up, it's a little weird to see them. But we can always, when we're all
there's
done,
one
we
for
can
toenails.
turn her around as well too.
I can go show this other foot too.
Yeah. Hey, girl, steady.
That one doesn't show the tip because she's turned.
Yeah, she's turned the wrong way.
Now, so you pointed out these little shavings that we have down here. So what do we do with those?
So what's really gross and cool is that a lot of animals love this for enrichment. The big cats especially. It's really smelly and really gross, and they can chew on it and rub on it. So yeah, we actually offer this to a lot of different departments, and they'll give it to their animals.
How about that? So you guys, we have a very special treat planned for you because we're going to take some of these shavings and I'm going to hop in the golf cart and we are going to head over and give the elephant shavings to Loki, the bobcat. So stay tuned. We have a few more questions coming in here. Christy is 30, what now? 34, 38?
34, yeah.
34. She's mom to Zuri, who's 10 now,
yeah.
believe it or not. Bailey, yes, these are African elephants. There are also Asian elephants, but we have African elephants here.
We used to have Asians way back in the day, those of you that were here back when we did elephant rides. But
Grayson wants to know if elephants eat apples.
They do. They eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, grain, lettuce, very healthy eaters.
And how much does the elephant weigh?
Christy is about 8,200 pounds, give or take.
Nice work, Megan. Look at that.
For those of you that have OCD like us, footwork is great. You can get all the little pieces and parts. It's very satisfying to finish it.
So let's kind of, if you stick your finger in there, it's just kind of, it goes in a little bit and that helps her grip a little bit. Beautifully done.
So we can flip her, or do you want to help Erin? We'll flip her around so you can see her nails from the front. We'll just kind of back her up a little bit.
All right.
Zuri's also in the mud too, so we can go see her in a minute.
Okay, we'll stop by and see Zuri in a minute. Do they spray you when you're bathing them?
Not intentionally. So this morning when we gave Zuri a bubble bath, if you remember from our New Year's video, bubbles fly everywhere. So there you go. If you look kind of at the bottom, you can see her feet there.
Which foot do we do?
Yeah, so we did the back one, so you can kind of like zoom in through there, so you can see their nails a little bit better and how their feet are a little bit different shaped, the back ones versus the front ones.
So that's there's the two back feet.
Do you want to go see Zuri? She's going crazy too.
And then here's her front feet.
Yes.
Well, she gets her treats. Let's just pop over real quick and see what Zuri's up to.
We can hear her over
No,
here.
we do not give rides on elephants' backs here. No, sir. No. Oh my goodness, girl! What are you doing?
We just heard her over here in the mud. So rainy days around here, she likes probably.
Oh my goodness. I did not.
So we just gave Zuri a nice bubble bath this morning, and she's filthy again. So
Tell us why they love to cover up in mud.
yeah, it's good. I mean, a dirty elephant is a happy elephant, and that smells. If you can also get that whiff over here, yeah.
Goodness, that smells worse than the feet.
Yeah, it's good. It's very moisturizing for them. She's gonna take a nap now in it. It helps protect from the sun. It keeps the flies off of them. So we keep this nice mud wallow for them.
Oh my
And
goodness.
she was wanting to steal the show because she feels like she's the only
didn't
child.
Like, she
of
didn't
course.
like sharing the attention.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now, do you do footwork on her too? I
We
assume?
do. Yep. We kind of take turns on these guys. So this morning we did a blood draw for Zuri. So she kind of had her husbandry. She was great for it. And then we did footwork with Chrissy.
So it is important. Let's talk about their tusks and why that's getting them endangered in the wild.
Yeah, so these guys are critically endangered. Tusks are kind of interesting. It's just a modified incisor. It's a tooth, but that's basically what elephants are being poached for. A lot of different cultures believe it has medicinal properties. It's made into different trinkets, things like that. And so, we're part of 96 Elephants, and we give a lot to International Elephant Foundation, which is important. We want a lot of conservation out there because we want to have elephants in the wild.
This is adorable. How am I supposed to walk away from this?
Oh yeah,
how do they?
So good.
A lot of people are asking. We answered the question earlier, but how do they do their own foot maintenance in the wild?
So they're going to be walking a lot. So elephants in the wild walk pretty far to find food here. They do a lot of walking as well. We do a lot of exercise with them. I'm sorry, she's killing me. And so yeah, they get it naturally worn down. We just kind of help them out as well too.
And how big is Zuri getting? Do you know what she weighs now?
She's like 300 pounds.
Ooh, girl.
She's getting very tall. So those of you that come to the zoo, she's hard to tell the difference between her and Christy sometimes when they're far away.
That's actually true. When they're not side by side, it's
she's
hard
very
for
tall.
me. Yeah, Rena, you're right. Zuri always puts on a great show. Katie's 6-year-old wants to know if you ever have to brush their teeth.
We do not, thankfully. So like horses, you would float their teeth if they get too long. These guys get 6 sets of teeth their entire life. So they actually lose teeth as they get bigger, like people. So they get good. Yeah. It's hard to be a 10-year-old and run around crazy. And
all right,
she's sleeping.
And scene. All right, girl. Thank you. Okay, guys. We're going to step out of here, and I'm going to take Christy's foot shavings over to see Loki, the bobcat. So I'm going to go hop on. Oh, you already got that ready for me. Thank you. Lauren, thank you. Bye. You're always the best. We're going to say bye to all my coworkers out here. Going to keep our distance. Megan, nice work. Natalie, Erin, off we go. Thanks, guys. All right, let's go see. What do you do with the teeth that fall out? Ooh. Boy, that's a good question. I'm going to have to circle back around with you on that. You guys, did I get muddy? Okay. So here's the thing. We have the foot shavings. What we do at the zoo is we have to freeze those foot shavings for 30 days because we want to just make sure it kills off anything that might be. I'll flip this around so you guys can see the golf cart in motion. See the empty zoo. This is a good time to remind you guys that we could really use some support of your favorite zoo while we're closed. We got a little construction going on here, taking advantage of being closed. We're disinfecting like crazy, and we're getting ready. But if you would love to support your zoo, we sure would love it if you did. You could go to hoglezoo.org. The zoo, we just rely on visitors and guests and membership and train rides and carousels. Is it so good while I'm driving? So if you guys want to support the zoo, you can go to hoglezoo.org. You can buy tickets now that you can use later. You can get your membership now. By the way, there's a 10% off code right now if you want to get your family membership. You could just call our guest services office. Let me radio. Oops, let me stop. We got a radio. Erica to Megan. Oh, she's out. Okay, good. Let's go see. Let me flip this back around. Okay, here we go, guys. We have Megan out. She's going to show us what happens. Hi, guys. How are you? Okay, so we just saw the elephant pedicure, which was awesome. And so now we want to see what happens when we use that as enrichment for other animals.
Sure. All right, we ready to let him out?
Yeah, I'm going to well, let's see. Let him out and then come talk to me.
Yeah,
we'll do that. We're just trying to make sure we keep our distance and use our microphone. Yes, you guys. So this is Loki. Do you know how old Loki is?
3 years old.
3 years old. Loki's only been here maybe a couple years now. Is that about right?
Yep.
Lives right down here just by Africans. Look, Loki's came here in 2017. Now, does Loki know what's about to happen? Is Loki anticipating something good?
Yeah.
Well, come out when you can come out by the...
Yep.
Here's our little bobcat. Now Megan's going to come talk to us here. We're looking at our little bobcat Loki. I'm so glad that you guys are tuning in. Remember, we're doing these Facebook field trips every day at 11:30 to just kind of help break the monotony a little bit. The videos live on Facebook. You can also find them at our YouTube channel. So did you put the shavings in there?
I did. I actually put them in 3 different spots in there.
So he's sniffing and sniffing.
Yeah,
right?
and that's exactly what we use enrichment for. We use them to encourage them to use their senses, encourage them to do some natural behaviors. And bobcats in the wild, they might rub their cheeks on stinky things, what we think it might either be to cover up their own scent so that when they're hunting, maybe prey will not recognize that it's a bobcat, or we don't really know. They just kind of like being stinky.
Hey, a lot of us have dogs at home. Same thing.
Exactly, and they're carnivores too, so that instinct is still kind of there.
So answer, we called him Loki because that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Elephants do have predators. I want to go back to that. It's humans. Humans are poaching elephants like crazy for their ivory tusks. So we do always want to draw attention to that because we're working to help stop that crisis in the wild. So you hid the elephant shavings around in 3 different spots to encourage Loki to just sniff and use his nose, and then and I tell you what, I smelled those elephant foot shavings.
Oh, yeah, they're bad.
They do not smell like roses, I tell you that. It's pretty intense. Let me try to zoom in. Are those the shavings up there?
Yeah, so I actually placed the shavings on 1 bark chip. It's just something different. I don't know why I did it, but
Yeah, no, mix it up. It keeps them guessing, right?
exactly.
What else can you tell us about Loki the bobcat? You guys, it's starting to rain here. I was hoping to get
A
through
little
our
bit.
video.
That's okay. He came here in 2017. He was an orphan, and he was found at 4 weeks old. And that was way too young to try and rehabilitate him, but he was found in Montana, and he lived at a facility in Montana for a little bit until they were able to find a permanent home for him, which we were able to provide. And now he lives here, and we do things like enrichment and training to keep him sharp and thinking.
Found some more. Did he
Yep,
find some
he
more?
found that other spot. The other spot is on that kind of flat log in the middle there.
In the middle. And
Yeah.
then how much does Loki weigh?
Oh, good question. I don't know.
You guys
But
stumped the keeper.
bobcats,
Yeah, you
they can
did.
be like 10, 12, all the way up to about 30 pounds.
30
Yeah.
pounds.
So he's going to be about twice as big as house cats.
Yes.
At least.
Yes.
Now, they're also pretty good climbers, yeah?
Yes, they are pretty good climbers. And even though bobcats, they primarily like to live on the ground. That's where they do most of their hunting. Unlike some of their cousins that have really long tails, that kind of indicates that they're more of an arboreal species, which means they can dwell in the trees. Like leopards are an excellent example of that, or even cougars using their tails to balance as they traverse cliffs and mountains and things like that.
Tails for
They
balancing.
do.
They're not like a snow leopard.
Exactly, which is why we think maybe they unevolved, so to speak, that tail, because they do really spend most of their time on the ground, but they still are able to traverse those trees if they need to. Like yesterday, I hid his bone in the tree, and he went and got it up there. His ball right now is in the tree, and he has really great capabilities for jumping and climbing.
We're getting some great questions. What do they eat in the wild? What do they eat here? Should we be afraid if we see a bobcat in the wild?
Great question. So in the wild, they're gonna hunt usually smaller mammals like rabbits, squirrels, but sometimes they can even hunt adult deer. And
Whoa,
that's in the case of like,
really?
yeah, especially during the winter when those deer can't really move as well in really deep snow. These guys, they have super big paws and they can kind of just sit up on top of that snow, so they can take down larger predators. But it's got to be circumstantial, and it depends on the bobcat too. But they are strong enough.
But they likely wouldn't bother a human.
No,
Hiking.
actually, they're usually pretty fearful of humans. So what you want to do when you're hiking or out in the wilderness is you want to make a lot of noise. You want to talk. I sing when I hike, especially.
I sing no matter what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness, I went too fast, guys. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, but he's showing off his great climbing capabilities.
Oh, he did that so fast.
Yep.
I do want to say hi to Emma and Ellen. We have a couple former keepers who are chiming in. So
Oh,
it's good to
hey,
see,
neat.
Good to see their names here. Now, someone wants to know if they like any type of catnip. Do the elephant foot shavings kind of serve as a catnip?
Oh, for sure. Now, he got elephant foot shavings recently, which might be why he just kind of rubbed on it a little bit, wasn't as excited as normal. But we do offer our cats catnip sometimes, and same thing, they'll kind of roll in it, and sometimes they get very excited like our domestic cats do as well.
Did you, who asked that? Dakota, did you see how high Loki jumped? He moved so fast up that tree that I lost him in frame. So they can jump and climb, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm not sure about how high they can jump, but he did a vertical leap from the ground to that tree there where his ball was hidden.
I'm trying to learn to watch his body language
There you go.
to figure out when he's going to do fast movements.
He's a very playful young individual.
Oh my goodness, Loki.
Because he is a younger individual, we always give him manipulative enrichment, which, by the way, here at the zoo, we have different categories of enrichment, which we try to switch out. There's sensory, environmental, manipulative. Today's enrichment was sensory, which had to do with using his senses. So today it was smell. But I always give him something manipulative. Today it was the orange ball, because he loves playing, so he loves to bat that around, and it kind of acts like a prey item that he can pounce and chase.
Our favorite question that people always ask is, what sound do the bobcats make? And I like to turn to the keepers and see if you can show us.
Chris has been practicing his bobcat
Do
scream.
bobcat sound?
So bobcats sound like a person screaming when they're really getting loud. They still do like the purring like a cat, but we were looking up bobcat sounds just in case we did get asked this question.
We were practicing before you got here.
We've made superstars out of some keepers doing really awesome. So, hey, give us your best bobcat.
All right, this isn't going to be great prefacing that, but it's really just like a type noise, a little bit higher pitched.
You scared Loki.
Yep.
At least he thought there might be, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, so that's what
You
we're
guys, thumbs up for Chris, huh? Was that
Yeah,
pretty good?
they also make kind of chirping. They also purr like domestic cats do. You guys know what a purr sounds like, but when he greets his keepers in the morning, he kind of does that.
Oh, that's a good sound too.
Yeah.
Guys, we got some good animal care staff out here. He is fast. It's hard for me to keep up. All right, we'll do zebras. Zebras are in our lineup. You guys, we're doing Facebook field trips every day on Facebook at 11:30, just so that you guys are getting your daily dose of the zoo, because you can't come visit us right now, which, by the way, is breaking our heart. It's very lonely and quiet up here. He's challenging my photography. See, you're getting good job, Chris. Julie said good job.
Oh, thanks.
At these bobcat noises. You guys, thanks so much for joining us in your bobcat knowledge. We're going to wrap up. Remember, some folks asked about our YouTube channel. It's just Utah's Hogle Zoo. We have a playlist set up of all of our Facebook lives, or Facebook field trips, so you can check those out at the YouTube channel, Utah's Hogle Zoo. And then if you want to support the zoo, there's so many ways you could do that. Head to our website, hoglezoo.org. You can buy tickets now to redeem later. You can get your membership. You can renew your membership. We have a 10% off code right now. If you call guest services, they can help you. And then we have animal art you can buy. And then remember, while we're all kind of buying things on Amazon right now, you can use your Smile account, smile.amazon.com. Type in Utah's Hogle Zoo, and then Amazon will donate some money toward the zoo as well. So a lot of ways for you to help and support the zoo. We need you to right now, because when we don't have guests coming in, it's pretty tricky up here. So thank you so much. I hate tuning away from Loki, who's so adorable. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We want to thank thank our crew over here. Thank you, Loki, and our elephant team. Again, Facebook field trips every day at 11:30. So tune in, support your zoo. You guys stay safe out there. Thanks.